Are we on?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, everybody. It's Jackie and Abby here.
Hello.
I am so excited about today because this is something I love to teach people how to do. And it's much easier to show them than just for you to read a recipe. We're doing Lacey Cornbread. If you've ever heard of Lacey Cornbread, throw us up a heart because people love it. It's a form of hot water cornbread, and all you use is cornmeal. This is cornmeal, not cornbread mix. It is pure cornmeal. I like stone ground. This is a medium ground. So you use cornmeal, you use hot water, and you use salt. That's it. That's all you do. And then, this is what it looks like. Can y'all see that? Can you see the little holes in there? And you can see why this is called Lacey Cornbread, because it looks kind of lacy. Well, wherever those holes are, you know, the oil bubbles up through that, and it makes this crispy. Abby just had one of these. Abby, tell them what you think about it.
They're so good. It's almost like a cornbread chip. It's just a crispy thin, but it's so good.
Very crispy. So there's two things that are important to know about this. One is the consistency of your cornmeal. This may be just a little bit thick. I'm gonna add just and I've got my hot water here. I'm gonna add just a tad bit of water. So you want your cornmeal, and this is just cornmeal, hot water, and salt. That's it. So you want it to be about like cream of wheat. Is that, are you able to see that? Okay, so that's a little bit too thin, I think. Let me put just a tad bit more cornmeal. And this is what you have to do. You just have to keep working with it until you get it like you like it. And I added maybe just a half a teaspoon more cornmeal, not very much. Okay, can you see that? So it's kind of like cream of wheat. That's what you want. Cornmeal, hot water, and you need hot water because hot water helps the corn open up and mix with the water a little bit better, and then some salt. And then the other key component is that you've got to have your grease hot. I've never taken the temperature, but I would imagine you want it somewhere close to 350 degrees. So the way I do it, make sure that's up all the way because this little burner doesn't heat up nearly as much as my stove does. So the way I do it is I just put one in, and I'll tell you what to look for to make sure that the heat's right. If that's not right, I take it out and I put another one in until I get them look like I want them, and then I cook the rest of them. So.
Is there a difference between this and hot water cornbread? Roxanne said we call this hot water cornbread.
It is hot water cornbread.
Okay.
It is hot water cornbread, but you can cook hot water cornbread in different ways. You can make your patties thick. You can put the whole thing in your skillet. This is just a variation called Lacey cornbread that makes it thin and crispy. All right, so let me just test this first, and we'll see. So Abby, come on over here and look down, and we're going to see what's going to happen here. So, okay, that's perfect. See how it thins out and see how it forms little holes? That means we've got the consistency of our cornmeal right, and we've got the heat of the oil right. That's exactly what you're looking for right there. And we'll put another one in. Now, oh, those are perfect the first time. Okay, now these aren't cooking up quite as fast on this little burner because it's not getting as hot. When you cook it on your stove or something hotter, this goes fast. So what you got to do is you got to stand over here and you got to mind this, and you can't get distracted. So if somebody acts like they need your attention right then and there, unless their head has fallen off or they are hemorrhaging, they're going to have to hold on until you finish cooking your cornbread, because it just, once it starts to brown, it goes pretty fast. So can you see how this is, the edges have started to brown here? And I'm telling you, this is slower. Can you see the brown there? Is that showing up at all?
Yeah.
Can you see? All right, so and see some of the little holes that started getting the brown. So as soon as you start to see some brown, you just flip it over.
Looks pretty.
And we'll flip this one over. And that one needs to go just a little bit longer. And it's so, I mean, I don't know if you can hear the, let's see if you can hear the crisp. Let's see. Can you hear that? Can you tell how crispy it is? I don't know if that translated or not. So we're going to take this one up and put that there. And I'm going to flip that one over. That one looks like it's done. So you decide how much brown you want on it. You know, I like them before I mean, that's perfect right there to me. But this is, if you're cooking it, this is your thing. And you cook it as much as you want it. And then, after we take them out, I like to sprinkle just a little bit of kosher salt. Now that's a good one right there. I like how that looks. And I always drain it on paper towel.
Oh, they heard the crisp.
Oh yeah, okay, good. So we'll sprinkle just a little bit of salt on there. I usually do not have to flip these more than once. This is just we're working under primitive conditions here with this pitiful little burner instead of, oh no, that's got brown there, instead of my stove. So now I want to show you. I want to show you something here. I'm going to make this purposely too thin so you can see what happens when you got your batter too thin. And then you'll know, when this happens, you'll know. Whoops, I'm going to put me some more cornmeal in here. Okay, you can see how thin this is. I mean, this is more like soup, you know, cream soup. So let me show you. Well, actually, I mean, you know, the edges aren't perfect. The edges aren't perfect. You see how it kind of messed up there? If it's real thin, it'll just spread all over the place. Let me try this. There we go. See, it's breaking up. See how it's breaking up?
Yeah.
So you know that's too thin. And we'll just scoop this out. And now I'm going to show you what happens when it's too thick. Flip that one over. Try to clean up my oil here just a little bit. So how about it? Who out there has had Lacey cornbread before?
I've seen several people say that they either call it hot water cornbread or Florida cornbread.
Yeah, Florida cornbread. That's the first I've ever heard that. Well, my people aren't from Florida, but they sure...
Deep South.
They sure, yeah, that's right. They sure ate hot water cornbread. In fact, the kind of cornbread that's known as Southern buttermilk cornbread, my grandmother called that egg bread. And that was too fancy for everyday eating. This is the kind of cornbread they did for everyday eating. All right, now I'm going to make this thick. Well, that's even so thick I can't even drop it, so.
Kitty, you're right. It did pop like crazy when it was too thin.
Yeah.
We were feeling it.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good. All right. So now, I'm going to show you this. And see how thick, I mean, that's more like oatmeal. That's thick. And there's nothing wrong with this. You can do that. But it's just, see, it's just, this makes more of a patty, and it's not going to get the holes in it, so it's not going to be as crisp, but you can eat that. I mean, if you like, you know, if you like it more thick, so it'll get crispy around the edges, not as crispy as that, because there's not going to be the little lacy appearance to it.
It's more like a pancake. More
like a pancake, yeah. So it'll take just a little bit longer to cook, and then we'll flip it over.
Still smells good.
Smells like cornbread. Yeah, so what people know as Southern buttermilk cornbread, my grandmother called that egg bread, and that was too fancy for every day. It just required too many ingredients. They really prized buttermilk, and they would go way out in the country to this one particular farmer who had the best buttermilk. Well, you know, they could only buy limited supplies of it, so they would have to savor their buttermilk and use that for special occasions. So the egg bread is what Granny would make to go in her Thanksgiving dressing. She didn't just make it at Thanksgiving. She made dressing more often than that. And that's what I do.
A hoe cake. That's what people are saying.
Yeah, yeah.
A hoe cake. That's right.
Yep. So there you go.
Let's see. Oh, Brenda said her grandma would put it in to cover the bottom of the skillet and use bacon grease to cook it.
Oh yes, absolutely. And I do that too. My husband and I love it that way, and I make it thin, you know, so it's mostly crispy all over. Absolutely. And then well, you have to have your skillet hot. Pour your whole batter in there, spread it out, flip a little bit of the grease on the top of it, then stick it in the oven and cook it.
That sounds
good.
Brenda said these would be good with soup. I agree.
Oh my gosh, it's soup, vegetables. So I'm going to turn this off.
Diane asked if she can make it with Jiffy. That's the cornbread mix you were talking about.
Well,
right?
that is cornbread mix. You can. There's nothing to keep you from doing that, but that's got leavening in it, so it's going to rise. You're not going to get. See how thin that is? You're not going to get that with cornmeal mix that's got leavening in it. You know, it'll be more like that, but it'll poof up some. So that really will be more like a pancake.
Fried cornbread is another way to say it.
Fried cornbread, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. So anybody have any questions out there? How many of you, now that you've seen this demonstration, are going to try it? That have never tried it before? Anybody? So we are finally getting some cooler weather, but I'm standing over this little eye here, and it's making me hot.
We have a couple of people saying they're going to try it today. Angie says she's from Texas, so this makes sense. She'll sometimes add whole kernel corn, chopped onions, and chopped jalapeno.
Oh, wow. So it's almost like a hush puppy. Yeah.
Oh, man, lots of people are going to try it tonight.
Oh, good. So now this is, this particular brand is called Dixie Lilly. And I buy this just because I can get it in my local grocery store. There's lots of good stone ground cornmeal brands that you can buy online. Smoky Mountain organization, I mean, like, you know, the Smoky Mountains organization, has really good stone ground cornmeal, and you order it online. They work with, I don't know, about 2 or 3 different millers, I think, up in the Smoky Mountains. But yeah, just stone ground cornmeal with no leavening, no rising agents in it. And this doesn't have salt, so you have to remember to put salt in it too. That's it.
Cindy, we'll put the recipe online. So
yes.
Make sure to check that out.
Yeah.
Do you know what Maseka is? Mildred said you gave me an idea. I'm going to try it with Maseka.
Maseka?
M-A-S-E-C-A.
Mesa?
Oh,
Mesa?
Mildred, tell us what you're talking about. I don't know what that is.
Mesa? Is it?
It's M-A-S-E-C-A.
Oh no, I don't know what that is. Tell us what that is.
Yeah, you gotta tell us. We make Johnny cakes here in Rhode Island, Lisa said.
Yeah. And Johnny cakes, for those of you that don't know, they got their name because people would take them, they would cook them up to take them on journeys. You know, that was before McDonald's, where that you couldn't stop along the way and get your food. And so they would make something similar to this and fry them up and take them with them, and that's what they ate on their journeys.
Oh, Kitty says that's the brand name. That makes sense.
Oh, so is it Mesa? Is it Mesa corn? Mesa cornmeal? Is that what it is?
Let's see if she says. Angie says that she makes them a lot. They call them fritters, and it's great with thick cut bacon and homemade molasses.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Mildred said Mexican cornmeal.
Mexican cornmeal, yeah. Oh, that would be great. Oh, okay. So the other thing I have to tell you about these, people are crazy about them. They are so good. Don't get suckered in to letting yourself be in charge of cooking these for a bunch of people, because I'm telling you,
they go fast.
You will be standing up over your skillet for a long time because they will eat them as soon as they come up, and then you'll just be there cooking them forever and ever and ever. And I've tried before when I have a lot of people, and I'll put them on a tray on a rack, and try to keep them warm in the oven and on about 200. And you can do that, but I don't know, they lose a little bit of their crispiness when you do that. So
it's best just right out of the frying pan.
Yeah, this is right out of the frying pan. That's the best way to do it. So, is anybody getting cool weather where they are?
Do we want to know this? It might make us jealous.
It might. It might, yeah.
I think we're 85s, 86s throughout the rest of this week.
I know. So, that's your lesson on hot water cornbread, particularly Lacey cornbread. Anybody have any questions before we sign off here? Is that it?
Not seeing any
Okay.
yet.
Well, thank y'all so much for sticking with us. We're going to post this recipe, and you know the video. If you happen to tune in after this is not live, that's okay, because you know you can still post questions, and I'll go back and answer the questions. But this video will stay on Facebook. It just won't be live, but it'll stay on Facebook, so you can watch this, and we'll post the link to the blog post, so you'll know. But it's just about, you know, it's like it's a ratio more than measurements, you know. So I've taught you how you want your cornmeal to look. So you got to figure out the right balance between cornmeal and hot water. Has to be hot water, and salt, and then your grease has to be hot enough, and you know you can test it out and make sure you got it hot enough. That's all there is to it. And then you just stand there and you flip them and you take them up. That's it. That's all there is to it. I'm telling you, people love them. Love them, love them, love them.
So there's a lot of people who are cooler than we are, temperature-wise.
Yeah, temperature-wise. Yeah. Let's talk about cool in a different way here.
Yeah. And then Kay asked where we are. We are just outside of Tampa, Florida.
Yeah. Central Florida. Okay, so thank y'all once again for tuning in. Abby and I certainly appreciate it. And I think I told Abby how to cook these today.
I think I'm going to try it. I think we're
before.
having chili this weekend because we're going to pretend like it's cold outside.
There you go.
So I might make some of these up for that.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day. You know, I mean, can you believe it's November?
No.
I'm getting ready for Thanksgiving already.
Oh my gosh.
I'm cooking for Thanksgiving already because we're going away. So I'm cooking up things and freezing them. It's crazy. We're doing that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So thank y'all so much for tuning in. And we'll post the recipe. And y'all listen, when you do this, when you make this, let us know about it. You know, post a comment and under this video that'll be on Surfing Biscuits Facebook page, give us a picture. Show us a picture. We would love to see it. And we greatly appreciate anytime y'all share our posts. That helps us so much. So please share the heck out of this. Just hit the share button and put it on your page and let your friends see it too. We appreciate that. So if that's all, this is Jackie and Abby saying bye.
Until next week.